Hi comfort lovers, Chani here and welcome back to my channel. Today, since it is a fine, super cold day and nobody wants to be outside, I thought it would be great to talk about fun hobbies to start over winter. Even though winter's almost done. But we still have most of January and February and it's gonna get really cold. So strap in and let's get started. The first thing on our list is pasta making. I just think any kind of cooking is super cozy, especially in the winter time. And pasta is relatively simple to do depending on what kind of pasta you make. Like gnocchi, for example, is pretty simple, especially with the recipe that I found. I'll try to link it in the description down below. So if you're curious and you want to start trying pasta, you can go take a look. You're gonna start off with some pretty wonky shaped noodles at the beginning, but later on, especially if you really like this and you decide to invest in like a pasta making machine, they're gonna come out perfect every single time. And what better way to enjoy the season where we are kind of forced to be inside than to make your own hearty homemade meals. This one is for those of you that kind of want to create stuff but enjoy being on your computer at the same time, and this is 3D modeling. I got the idea kind of from one creator. I'll have some of her videos on the screen now, but essentially she makes these really fun figurines that are always usually frog themed. I just think it's so fun because you don't have to buy anything like clay or any kind of consumables that add up and cost a lot of money, especially while you're learning how to do the process. And if you really want to bring them 100% to life, you can always get a 3D printer, or I'm sure there are companies that'll 3D print things for you even. And it's just a fun way to be on screen and create something instead of just always consuming something. These two are oldies but goodies. You've definitely heard of them. It's knitting or crochet, and this is just fun because fiber art is like a staple of the cozy season, and it's great to be able to pick up a new craft, especially if you want to make fun little gifts for your friends and family, or even if you want to make something for yourself, because not only do you get to work with your hands, and it's generally really relaxing. Felting, and this is really fun if you want to make small little plushies, or if you have a old beret or cheap beret that you have that you maybe don't wear so much anymore and you want to kind of give it some extra life. Sky is the limit. I've seen some artisans who have been able to make whole entire dresses. That is a feat I don't think I'll ever be able to do, but that is also super cool. This is most definitely a staple, especially coming right out of the holiday season, and this is baking. There are so many fun recipes to try, and a good number of them are relatively inexpensive. And at the end of the day, you're gonna have some wonderful cookies, muffins, cinnamon rolls that you can just share with your family and friends. And another point that I forgot about what I was talking about with the pasta, but now that I'm talking about baking, it comes to mind immediately, and that is the extra bonus of having a house that smells amazing. The next one is a transportation back to your childhood, and can be really complicated or super simple depending on what you do, but these are perler beads. I had completely forgotten that they had existed until I was watching Cozy K on YouTube, as any of you cozy channel, but also like cozy lifestyle lovers and enthusiasts probably know her name by now. And I saw the perler beads and I'm like, oh my God, I used to play with those as a kid. And then I went down a deep dive and I learned that you can get teeny tiny ones, and I bought them and they're super fun. I made a gift for my friend, but while transporting it back to my hometown, I lost it. So I'm gonna have to make it again, but that's okay because I have fun and I have a shit ton of beads. This one is another good one because again, it's super cheap, and this is just sketching, coloring, painting is you don't have to have super expensive materials to do this. You can just use a regular piece of paper if you want, with the caveat of watercolor if you go down that road, just because you need a particular type of paper for it to work properly. It's a truly freeing activity because you can just either draw and color whatever you want, or if you want a little bit more structure, you can like have a coloring book that you color into, or you can even have a book where it tells you how to draw and then you just draw the same things that are in that book and you're good to go. This is one that I didn't know existed even in my childhood, and this is diamond painting. Very similar to paint by number. I don't think I've seen any diamond painting things where you can just freehand what you want and you can just buy the individual diamonds themselves. I'm sure they exist. If you want something to keep you busy the entire winter, you can have massive projects. I have one in my apartment that I have started, and I will be picking at it throughout the rest of this winter when I have time. But if you want something that is not instant gratification, but you can feel good because it's not going to take very long to finish, I recommend their smaller kits. You can get them at Michael's, but I'm sure there's lots of different options online as well. Really great if you're trying to get in the habit of cataloging little things that have happened in your days throughout this year. You can do regular journaling if you want, but I prefer scrapbook journaling because I like to get little scraps and pieces of what other people would call like junk or trash and just turn it into a nice little visual representation of a memory that I had from a really special event that happened. During my honeymoon in Japan, I can think of a whole bunch of little junky knick-knack things that I picked up that my scrapbook is just waiting so that I can encapsulate it in a little nice memory package. It doesn't even have to be a journal. It can just be a regular scrapbook, or if you want to do a recipe scrapbook, like you can have in it, like this recipe was really good, and then you have the instructions, but also like if you try something and it didn't turn out well, you can maybe just cut out what it should have been and been like, this was really hard. Wish I could have done it, but can't. And if there's a recipe that really turned out like trash, I would suggest like just taking again what it could have been, what it should have looked like, and been like, never to try again. This is complete trash. And just go from there. I think I might do a recipe scrapbook this year, and that'll definitely have lots of tried it, was trash, or tried it, I'm trash at it. I think this is the best activity you can do with friends over the winter because neither of you need to leave your house. And this is to do online gaming together. There are so many games that you can try, and games you can get some really nice, fun, cozy, good vibes only games. Today, my friend and I, he lives in Shanghai, we were playing web fishing today, and that was just the most genuinely wholesome experience. We were just able to like fish in the background with this cat character, and we were just like shooting the shit because we hadn't been able to talk in like a few months. Anyways, I came back online because I had realized that there was one obvious one that I had completely forgotten, and I feel like a lot of people didn't talk about it, maybe just because it's a hobby that has a high level of like upfront monetary investment, but I still think it's worth mentioning if you have the means to do so, and that is picking up an instrument. Like the neighbors downstairs, I think it's their son, he's playing guitar, and it sounds quite lovely, right? And such a great thing to do just in general, not just for winter, but I think it's really great to pick it up in winter because you don't have much desire to go outside and you can just play inside. But anyway, I just thought I would add that to my list of good winter hobbies. Okay, cool, bye.